fashion, okay? Fashion. Let's get this as a cute jewelry.
Oh, fashion show. What is what?
Hey, dulu sih kita sudah kira kamu like sekarang kita main di jadi post dah. Choose one. Ini macam apa?
Kasar tadi saya hotel.
Nah. Okay. One, two. Oh, Anita. This is Reese. Babazo.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. And then Dimpo. Okay. Oh, sure. You can say that.
And as a DJ SK featured by Timby Mona giving us Loiso, the main mix, leaving us straight to just literally 11 minutes after the hour 7. And it's exactly time for the kickstart. Leah Smita wa Halidibu. Good morning to you, man.
Good morning, Priya Thengas Babazo.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Super great, thank you.
Hi, Ezri.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm all good.
Yeah.
For the camera.
Hey. Yeah. Hey, all things camera.
I'm happy that
It's a Friday. I can see you're happier than yesterday. You know, beginning Thursday, when you were like,
No, I'm always happy for Friday.
Wednesday, or
I'm always happy
always
for Friday.
for Friday,
Every day. It can be Friday every day. I wouldn't mind sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good morning, Radio Bloem listeners. They aim to tell a story through art, fashion, and entrepreneurs through theatre promises authentic, original, local stories. And this morning on the Kickstart, we are joined by Question Art to tell us more about the pure magic of art at its best. And today we have Quanto from Question Art, joining us in studio. Good morning to you and welcome to the Bloem Breakfast Show, the Kickstart, which is proudly sponsored by Echo Multimedia Solutions. Hey!
Good morning, guys, and thank you for this opportunity.
No, you're most welcome. So just please tell us more about yourself and why you actually just when did the passion for, entrepreneurship and fashion and art, what ignited this passion within you?
Well, for me, I arrived in Bloemfontein which year was it? It was 2016. Yeah, I was in CUT doing information technology, which means IT. But then, because I'm from Eastern Cape and from the Lallis, there isn't that much information about art, There are people, but you can never see them until you actually see them. So when I got to CUT, I actually got to be exposed in the art department that side.
Okay.
Then for me, that was amazing. And then I quit IT, and then I started Question Art in 2017. And then here I am.
Oh, yeah, no, it is indeed doing great, I must say. That is why, because I was really just moved by what the work that I saw that you guys do, especially the one of the winter fashion show, because I remember I love fashion shows, so that one was really outstanding for me. I mean, it really caught my eye, and yeah. So then, but then Question Art is actually all about broadcasting and production, and it actually aims to bridge the gap between business and art. But then, what gap is identified, and what are those strategies in place to help bridge the gap?
Well, when I started running Question Art for like 2-3 years, I saw that there isn't that platform that gives local artists the very platform that exists in Joburg here. So, and especially for artists that are local, they try to make it and leave the space instead of creating an art industry here. So the gap I'm preaching is that there's no art industry here. Yes, there are artists, there are art corporates, all of them. But none of them are united enough to create a network that is like Joburg, that you can actually make it in Bloem. You don't have to be founded and then you leave. Like Boston 20. When I started November Art Culture, Boston 20 brought sound for my November Culture Festival. And at that time, that was the time they released that song Run. Same reason I brought them in Bloemfontein Winter for this year. Because for me, it was that time I was establishing my festival. For them, they were starting to move up because Run was the song that put them on the map. Then after that, they started blowing up. So those are some of the inspirations and some of the things that make me like, yo, the space has a lot of talent, you know.
Most
but
definitely.
There isn't something that's carrying the talent. Or
Especially
everyone
here
just does.
locally.
Yes. So yeah, that's the whole point, is to bridge that and then also work with the locals instead of trying to get the mainstream people. Only. I brought Bostino because the platform is for local people. They were the only celebrities, so it was to elevate Bloemfontein Winter for a fashion show. It was our second time.
Yes.
So it's like you bring a celebrity to make the stage big and give the platform to local people. That's why you could recognize it, because they were both only 20 years old.
Yes.
So a lot of people got to, well, we even had designers from Eastern Cape and Joburg actually. So that's how big the show was, because we had someone who was a celebrity and we still did it here. So that's the whole point. That's why we're trying to bridge.
Wow, no, thank you so much for that. And now I heard you mention the November what?
November Art Culture
yes,
Festival.
yes. Well, what's the purpose of that, and why did you introduce
November
it?
Art Culture Festival, it's an art festival.
Okay.
We encountered everything in one house. So like trying to have live performances, fashion show, art exhibitions,
Yes.
dance performances,
Okay.
skaters to theater shows. And throughout the 5 years, actually, it's going to be our 6th annual this year.
Wow.
Throughout the 5 years, we've encountered almost all those, each year. And the most amazing thing, I've worked with almost about 1,000 local artists throughout the show alone, because I get to meet like the people that are still starting out and the people that are already over the pioneer stage. People are already doing stuff, So, and some, they come back and forth, because I have a lot of people who have been on my shows more than 3 times, more than 2 times. Especially for Bloemfontein Winter, for people like Wally Tabo Woods. People know the Tabo Woods as an influencer,
Yeah.
For me, he was part of the previous fashion show, and he was established because of them. Because he was also part of the first one, and we all planned it together.
Wow.
So the idea is to create these shows to be for the people, so that also them, they can be able to make money.
Exactly, just to give them a platform to showcase their skills and talent, of which is rarely, in a seldom manner, recognized. And, even with artists, some might even, art is actually a profession, and people can make a career out of it other than just a hobby.
Yes.
So it actually just gives it that kick to say that, this is a career, so people should not exploit us at the same time as well.
Yeah. Definitely. You're from the Eastern Cape, right? Let's talk about since you came here and you did your art, and obviously now you have more information about art. So now, are you willing to take the information that you have and the work that you're doing here in the Free State, Bloemfontein to be precise, to the Eastern Cape to actually have, I'm sure that Eastern Cape also has artists, and like you said that you're not really that much informed in the Eastern Cape.
Yes.
Are you willing to actually take the information that you have and also do something similar to this to the Eastern Cape?
Well, the long-term plan is to expand provincially and go amongst other provinces. But first things first, for me, I told myself I'm not going anywhere until we have a building, because the idea of the building is to be a private company, but that acts like the arts and culture, be able to give out grants, be able to sort of create mentorship programs and also programs that help people from starting out to being an actual professional career. And also I have placed some things in action. I've hosted shows in Eastern Cape, Buckley East, our North. I've attended a show this year in Stegspruit. So little by little, I plant those seeds by just going a little and see what I can do there, because I know I'm from Eastern Cape. There isn't that much that moves art. As from here, it's not the same. Here is a city, at least you can find a few individuals that are doing the same thing. That side, you can spend 6 months just trying to find that one person who can actually work with you, and that's a very hard job. But then, I have long-term plans, and I've already started with them by hosting little shows. Then when I'm done here in Bloom, I can move that side and then to other provinces.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's just head this way and then we'll be back with this.
Shoes galore at Dieta. Bring the whole family along to shop until they drop. We have comfortable and long last.
All roads lead to Bloem Day for a day of worship like no other. Join us on Sunday, October the 6th at Limo Green Park for a gospel experience. Benjamin Dube, Colin Wango, Ayanda Danzi, Bruno Wa, doing Boxstad, and from Lesotho, Minister Spokes and Tizozo, and many more with your host, the incredible TG Lamola. Ticket starts from 300 Rand. Get yours now at Web Tickets, Ticket Pro, Limo Fest, Reaka. See?
The posters that I'm doing should come from the MX. The MX said that he sent all the information back as not wrong.
There's a hobo wahamoshi. There's a teacher about some city. The good on water.
Can you read before you move to art or no is that
IT.
IT? So no IT like I was happening to you.
No, I quit my third year. I can actually do a lot.
Third year?
Yeah.
What was I getting then with the art?
I don't know. But I'm here now. Even though I struggled, I feel like I made the right decision.
You're at peace with it. And
Yeah. Well,
you're happy.
well, my art is aligned with my spirituality, so
Yeah.
that's why. And if I was doing IT, I would have had the house, the car, but I would have been far off in terms of myself. You know.
When you're talking art, are you talking specifics or coffee and abroad?
No, everything. I'm not an artist. I'm an entrepreneur. I just encumbered this whole thing for artists. I can't even try to save my life. No, she can. Yeah, well, so I'm.
Oh, you can draw.
Yeah, she's the one who draws for us. Anyway.
I'm not sure. Give us a portrait.
Self-portrait.
And it's exactly 23 minutes after the hour 7, and we're still at it with the Kickstart Lee Alsmita Wahaliti.
Thank you so much, Piriyantheng. So we're back into the Kickstart, which is proudly sponsored by Echo Multimedia Solutions. Now back to our interview we're still at it with Question Art, which is, all about broadcasting and production. So did you work with any mentors? Because I heard you mentioning mentorship programs, but then for you, was there someone that you really looked up to get you where you are now?
Well, in the beginning, I had people who were already established that actually inspired me. So I would consider them as some form of mentors to me.
Yeah.
Most of the things I did back then were because of their inspiration. So yeah, I did have a lot of mentors.
Yes.
And in terms of my programs and mentorship, what I
Yes.
do, I find professional people and then they do sessions. Like right now, we have a modeling program. This modeling program is supposed to take you from just not being a model to just being a professional model, but making your portfolios, your Z card, and also putting you into classes. Working with people like Pilasande.
Yeah, we once had it there for the Park Fashion Show.
Exactly.
Matabo Marajani,
People like
yes.
that. People already established and already have been in many of these spaces that encumber, whether it's fashion, whether it's art, whether it's music.
Yeah.
Allow me to budge in. How would you describe your unique artistic style, and also how has your style evolved over the time?
Well, off mic, like I just said, I'm not an artist, so I don't have an artistic style. I'm more of an entrepreneur. My passion is basically I'm building the foundation of a business here. The business that can give a fine artist an opportunity to create their own style. A fashion designer to come and be part of the fashion show, and actually direct the fashion show. Perfect example, like this previous fashion show we had. I gave it to Ulano Designer Trends. He was the one to become the main director of the show, which means gathering the models, gathering the designers also, and also being in charge of the whole creative directness of the show, which means allowing him to be at his best, kind of thing. So my whole idea of the idea is not, I'm not an artist, but is to create platforms that actually nurture people's styles, not control them, but also allow them as much creative freedom as possible. Yes.
So now with the winter fashion show, like, that one
Yeah.
was really, it caught my eye. Do you also cater for, with your castings, do you also cater for plus size models? Because, I know that even with me in winter, like the fashion style and all of that, like jackets, they make me feel like I've gained more weight. So now, is there like maybe something that you can actually also, showcase for plus sizes like me?
Well, last year, 2023, that was literally one of the objectives. When we started Bloem Interview was to not just have models or do it like any other fashion show. It was to make it different. Hence, we had it at Civic Theatre.
Yes.
We were supposed to sort of tell a story. Theatre story is true fashion.
Okay.
So also, variety of models wasn't supposed to be your normal model, your tall, thin, all that. It was supposed to be all kinds of models that we can get to. The end, the best part for us, Tina, we are like, if you think you can become a model, it doesn't matter what you look like, we can make it work. So definitely, we always make sure that we open up spaces for everyone and not just the regime ideas or the initial ideas that people think modeling is about or fashion is about.
Yes.
It's about teaching that there's more broadness into the idea, and if you think you like the idea, you want to be part of it, then find your space in it. Yeah, so that's the idea.
Okay. And with challenges, like, throughout your journey, have you encountered any challenges? I mean, especially with entrepreneurship, from an entrepreneur point of view, because, so, with many businesses, I mean, like, when you start off, they collapse before they actually become successful. But then with you, what challenges have you encountered and how have you actually overcome them?
Well, I've been running this company for 7 years now, since 2017. Well, the simple one, actually, the most basic one is, I would say resources, gathering all the resources so that you are able to do that production, to do that broadcasting. That's one of the hardest part. But that goes down to the basic level, which means money, startup capital.
Yes.
Any business, whether how small the idea is or how big, you have your network, it needs a startup capital. So one of the challenges I faced, I had to start this company from my pocket. And even now, I'm still taking money out of my pocket because I haven't been funded by no government. I haven't been given money, from any sponsorship or any kind. All of this has just been coming straight out of my pocket. So sometimes it's like, I don't buy shoes. Sometimes it's like, if my phone is broken, I won't fix it for a while because I'm solely fixated on just putting in money on the business and making it work. So that's some of the challenges, which means my personal life suffers, so that's one of the challenges. And then also having to find people, working with people that are or aren't already professional, you get to suffer because now you have to move them on the line of professions. And because you can't pay them, you have to put up with that they don't understand that they have to act as professional, treat their careers, or what would you call in that moment, would say a hobby. Because most people I have worked with in the past, I start off at them, they treat it as a hobby, but then as they see how serious I am, they think of it as a career. So it's like those steps from thinking of it as a hobby to taking it as a career and actually making it serious.
Yes.
So also the people working with, it's kind of hard to find people that are really,
dedicated,
very
committed.
dedicated.
Yes. Yeah, because they
Things
feel like,
like that.
I'm not getting paid, so I'm not going to professionalize
Exactly.
this.
So even the schedules, deadlines, they don't work as much because there's no money involved. So people think, but I don't have to wake up and do it. I don't have to, even if I'm late. So little things like those are like big challenges, not just, there's a lot more, but I think those are the big major ones I could
Wow.
I know like there's a lot of misconceptions that are around art, but according to you or what you've heard since you've been into the art, what are the misconceptions that you've heard regarding art?
Well, me personally, like, I don't need social media. If you see my social media stuff, it's because it's just business stuff. I don't even have a personal social media account. So now in terms of the misconceptions of the world, I would take them from like where I'm from now, South Africa. And locally, I'm from Eastern Cape, I've been to Bloem, I've been there. like, because I will start with parents. Parents think that if a child is interested in art, that it doesn't make that much money.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot more money, and also that people don't need qualifications. Well, there are two ways. There's a way where you don't need a qualification because you have the talent, and also you can establish it yourself. And then there's a way you need to go to school, you need to go get those basics. Even though you establish your own style, you also need to get your own certificate and be certified as an artist so that you can be able to move into other regions with a certificate. So the misconception of that you don't need a certificate as an artist is also wrong. You do need it, but at the same time you also don't need it because some people can make it without it, some people can make it without it. So everyone's journey is different. Also.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. And then what's the other one? Oh yeah, that art only is entertainment purposes. Actually, art is in everything. I feel like most of the businesses, they use art mostly. Things like graphic designing, actually even in architecture, there's so many industries that art touches that people cannot see. They need like enlightenment in terms of those kind of things because most things, even in IT, the graphical user interface, which means what you see as the user, it has to be designed in a way that the user likes it, which means there's more creativity involved, there are more artistic parts, in IT itself. And there's a lot more broadness in other industries, but I won't go into details.
There's art in mathematics as well.
Too
You know,
much.
when you draw those figures and all of that. Yes, art is like everywhere.
Yeah, in math I wouldn't try it. I tried other, but as an entrepreneur, what is the very important lesson that you've learned as an entrepreneur since you started?
Is to be serious about your business.
About your craft.
If you're not serious, no one will be.
Exactly.
You better take it serious.
And when you take it seriously, then you become more credible, especially when you actually also back it up with qualification, education,
Just
if I
be
can put it that
serious.
way.
If you feel like entrepreneurship is your way, just be serious. Push your boundaries, push your limits.